Hi, this is Rebecca Ward and Stacy Ivester. We are presenting our conference paper today, and we chose to research departmentalized classrooms in elementary schools. We both teach in a first and second grade school where we have implemented a departmentalized model for the past 2 years. So we were interested in what kind of effects that has on student achievement and teachers' perceptions of the classroom and how that model was successful or not successful. So we began our research by looking at previous research on this topic, and we found several things. High student achievement, teacher specialist, and preparation for secondary school were the top 3 reoccurring things that we found during this research. All teachers seem to have the same common goal in mind, which is to have high student achievement. Some of the research that we looked at indicated that test scores of schools that had implemented a departmentalized setting did find that they had a faster rate of increase in student achievement. There was one particular study that looked at a 3-year period at a school and found that the test scores of those schools with the departmentalized setting increased at a faster rate than other schools they compared it to in the same district. The literature also suggests that departmentalization gives teachers the opportunity to become specialists in their specific content area. Most of the research we found dealt with positive aspects of allowing teachers time to grow in an academic area of choice, and it allowed them to become more of a specialist and an expert in their content area. These teachers were also able to be provided with targeted professional development in those specific fields. Student placement and student achievement was also indicated that the departmentalized model catered towards preparing students for the middle and high school setting. There were some issues indicated with transitioning, like maturity level for younger kids, disciplinary issues, and handling social situations, but there was not a lot of information given in the negative aspects of student achievement with the transitioning and switching classes. There was also an article that looked at 4th and 5th grade departmentalization, and it indicated that it really helped to prepare students as they were moving into a middle school setting.
So some of the purposes behind our research was just to figure out the student achievement with this model, if it improved classroom instruction, and then also if it allowed teachers to become specialized in their content area. And so some of the results were that educators and administrators use research-based data to better make decisions about student placement and student achievement. There was some improvement in classroom instruction and identified criteria to determine overall academic achievement. And then also, we do think this study gave us insight into teacher understanding of departmentalized models versus the traditional model. Ultimately, we wanted to know if teachers consider themselves specialists or experts in the content area of which they teach, and we wanted to know if this was due to them having the departmentalized instruction being available to them. We also wanted to make a note of any negative issues that teachers did have or they had dealt with within this model. Some of those we wanted to make sure that the negative issues weren't student growth and achievement, and if they were, then how that played into an effect, as well as student behavior, and then the preparedness for secondary education.
The theoretical framework for our research was a quantitative survey study. The independent variable for this study was defined as the classroom that was using a departmentalized model. The dependent variables were defined as the positive or negative achievement in that departmentalized classroom. We used a correlation design that enabled us to apply quantitative data to determine the relationship between these two variables.
So for our survey that we conducted, we wanted to focus on first and second grade classrooms, specifically at our school, in a county in Georgia. So we used our own school because we use departmentalized instruction, and so we gave the survey out to all of the teachers here at our school. Our school also houses all of the first grade and second grade students within our county, so we felt that was a good indicator to kind of figure out how teachers felt about departmentalized instruction. The survey targeted 30 first and second grade teachers, and we actually had 24 of them participate. All of the teachers that participated had noted that they have experience in both the traditional classroom setting as well as the departmentalized setting. And so the departmentalized setting is the setting that they currently teach in as of now.
So the methodology for our research was the survey of teachers. And this survey looked at things like the background information, student achievement percentages, teacher satisfaction rating scales, and then pros and cons of departmentalized settings. The survey questions focused on the effects of departmentalization. They were able to help us understand the teacher's insight into the departmentalized model, so that we could determine positive and negative aspects from the teacher's perspective. Some of the questions measured how many years the teachers have been in education, and if they consider themselves experts or specialists in a specific content area, especially now that they are in that departmentalized model, and also do they feel that it has helped them to promote student success. The rating scale we used was from 1 to 5, 1 being very dissatisfied and 5 being very satisfied. The results were calculated to give us a percentage of satisfaction for each category.
So when we were looking at teacher satisfaction within the structure that we use, which is the departmentalized model, we did use the rating scale from 1 to 5 to indicate satisfaction within specific key areas. Out of those key areas, the teachers could have a total set of scores ranging from 5 all the way to 25. And so when the survey was concluded, the mean score was 18.79, and the standard deviation was 2.84. And so what that told us was that teachers overall were mostly satisfied with the departmentalized classroom model that they are currently implementing at our school, and that students seemed to also be satisfied based on the questions that were asked. So when we looked at the survey, there were 75% of the participants that indicated that more of half of the students were on grade level in reading, while 83.4% of the participants indicated that more than half of their students were on grade level in math. And so that kind of went back to our previous research, and it kind of had a correlation there between student success and achievement. And both our survey and the data showed, our data and then the research showed that departmentalized models work really well with student achievement.
As part of our survey, we provided an opportunity for some short answer feedback from teachers on pros and cons of the departmentalized model that they have experienced in their classroom. And we just picked out a couple of quotes here to give kind of a snapshot picture of the feedback overall. And so one teacher said that teaching students to be responsible for themselves and their possessions between classrooms was a positive thing. It was teaching them responsibility and how to take care of themselves and keep up with themselves rather than always depending on someone to do it for them. Another teacher said that teachers can solely focus on the one subject, which makes students or can make students be more successful. And that connects back to previous research about teachers being able to become an expert or a content specialist and really understand the content they're teaching and transfer that to the students through their teaching. There were also teachers that said they feel that younger students with the self-contained model work best for academics. So not everyone was 100% on board or positive about the departmentalized model. Some still feel that self-contained would be more appropriate. Another teacher said that it doesn't allow for quality relationship building between teachers and students, which is something else that we have looked at previously, the relationship aspect of the departmentalized model. While there was mention of interfering with relationships with students, there was no negative feedback given concerning the students' academics. There were also few statements given that indicated that there was any impact on student behavior.
So now we're going to move into the Q&A section. Rebecca is going to ask the questions, and then I will answer them.
Okay, so we come up with 3 questions that we thought really fit the research that we conducted and the research that we looked at previously. So the first question that we wanted to look at is, how is the overall student achievement impacted by student placement?
So according to our research that we conducted through our survey, we did find that 75% of teachers indicated half of their students were on grade level or above in reading mid-year, so this would be around January, and 83.4% of the math teachers indicated that their students were on grade level or above in math, also in mid-year. So therefore, we thought it would appear that departmentalized placement does not hinder student achievement, and it possibly could have a greater impact on student achievement. We also have previous research that did note that over a 3-year span of implementing departmentalized instruction, that student achievement was significantly higher than before implementing the model.
All right, the next question that we wanted to look at is, do traditional or departmentalized classrooms perform better academically?
So also, we did look at the previous research, and there is no significant difference between student achievement in one particular model. Both the traditional model and the departmentalized model showed approximately the same student growth, especially when we were looking at reading skills. But based on the research that we conducted in our survey, we don't have a comparison determine student growth in departmentalized instruction versus traditional. But all of the research that we did conduct kind of had positive things to say about the student growth. There were no negatives noted.
And our third question is, do the perspectives of teachers affect what constitutes student achievement?